Candlepin Stars and Strikes is sponsored by McMulkin Chevrolet, Nashua. WNDS Sports presents Candlepin Stars and Strikes, featuring the best Candlepin bowlers from all over New England. And now, in our 14th season, your hosts for Candlepin Stars and Strikes, Dick Lutz and Mike Morin.
Welcome to Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV 50 from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Dick Lutz with Mike Morin, and we have reached the end of the trail. It's our championship match in the Tournament of Champions with top seed Gary Carrington taking on number 3 Rob Berkiel for all of the marbles.
We're going to see if Gary Carrington can match some of the high standards he set on the first ladder championship back way in last November. He's now back in the month of June for $1,500 top prize, $600 to the runner-up. We've come 33 weeks to get to this match today.
Let's meet the bowlers who will be meeting for the championship here this afternoon. First, our 3rd seed and winner of 2 matches to get to this spot, Rob Berkiel from Millbury, Massachusetts.
Responding well to the pressure over the last couple of weeks against Morgan and Hallis. His average is 130, high single 189, high triple of 487. He bowls out of Worcester at the Colonial Bowling Center and Thunderbowl Lanes.
And of course, Rob Berkiel was the number 3 seed going into the tournament, and he has defeated Hawk Hallis and Mike Morgan to earn a berth in the championship match against top seed Gary Carrington, whose high triple in the first ladder series has stood the test of time, and he also is the last bowler to hit the triple strike jackpot.
This is very true. So with almost $1,300 at stake with the triple strike pool and $1,500 for the top prize today, there's a possibility of walking out of here with almost $3,000. There you see Gary Carrington averaging 135, a high single 196. His high triple is 480. Bowls just 1 day a week at the Park Place Lanes in Wyndham.
A great crowd is on hand for the finale of our Tournament of Champions. It's Gary Carrington and Rob Berkiel. Let's get to it when we continue with Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV 50. Here you see our ladder winners, all of the members of our Tournament of Champions field. Hawk Hallis, the 7 seed, won 3 matches, beating Rich Clark, Joe Ashline, and Jay Leach. Then Hallis was ousted by Rob Berkiel, who advanced with a win over Mike Morgan to today's championship match against top seed Gary Carrington. And it'll be Rob Berkiel starting out in our championship match in the Tournament of Champions on Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Dick Lutz with Mike Morin, our WNDS TV 50 crew, happy that you could spend your Sunday afternoons with us. Berkiel starts out by missing the head pin, and the only pin still standing is the head pin. So a great season of Candlepin bowling on Channel 50. A lot of great bowling.
Where has the time gone?
Well, he didn't take it head on, but he took it out, and he'll take it.
Get those jitters out of the way. This is the biggest match of the year.
$1,500 to the winner, $600 to the second place finisher. Berkiel again missing the head pin, but finding himself with another makeable spare. Rob Berkiel is 30 years old. He's a materials coordinator for Polaris Computers in Marlboro. Has a 2-year-old son, Devin, and 2 spares to start out. Now our first look in a long time at Gary Carrington. It has been a while.
A rather convincing 455 triple in his ladder win back, I think, in November, Dick.
It first aired on November 16th. Carrington on the head pin to start out. He was the 3rd seed in that first ladder series. The very first match saw Dave Richards beat Craig Holbrook, then Carrington down Richards. And he'll not get the spare. In the semifinals of that series, Gary Carrington defeated Jeff Atkins, 408 to 368. And in the championship match, Carrington down Tom Olsta, 455 to 371. And that 455 triple in that first ladder series was the mark, the watermark. No one was able to match it. Again, Carrington right in the pocket that time, but leaves himself a tough split.
A little surprised he didn't carry the strike. He had his arms up in the air as if to say, oh, this one's gone. But surprised, the 6 and the 7 remain. A split without any help, no wood on the deck.
Well, he made a run at it. And it's an 8 box for Gary Carrington.
Well, we could have some bonus money, Dick, already here at the third frame.
Rob Berkiel looking at $50 for 3 marks in a row. The triple strike jackpot is at $12.75. Gary Carrington hit it in his first ladder series, and now Rob Berkiel, that time on the head pin.
I think he'd like to get out to a big lead against heavy hitter Gary Carrington. Good strategy.
Berkiel will put $50 in the bank with bonus money in the first 3 boxes. A great way to start.
And he'll go home with no less than $600. Certainly he's got his sight set on $1,500.
Missing the head pin. Watch out, there they go. Will the 7 pin go? It will not.
And the wood is in excellent position.
Well, that backwood could cause a
Yeah, it's
problem.
starting to move now.
Rob assessing the situation. He's very deliberate in assessing the deadwood on the deck.
And for this kind of stakes, you can't blame it.
He's got a shot at it. 4 marks in a row to start out for Rob Berkiel. $70 in bonus money and opening up an early advantage over Gary Carrington.
Rob Berkiel, not exactly a household name. He's been on TV 50 only maybe 5 times, Channel 5 once. You contrast that with Gary Carrington, who's been on both TV stations a combined 60, almost 65 times.
Gary's a process engineer for Lucent. I hope he's had some of the company's stock. It's been one of the hottest stocks in the country over the past few months.
That's for sure.
Just splitting. A 9 box.
Falling quickly behind as Rob Berkiel has not had an open frame yet.
Gary Carrington will get the strike. That time he had the arms up, expecting the strike, and he got it. Gary Carrington's been on the head pin, but really hadn't had much to show for his efforts through the first 3 boxes, but now a strike.
Yeah, that second frame shot could easily have been a strike when the 6-7 remained.
And he had a spread eagle in the previous box, and now Berkiel gets a taste of it, putting it right through, avoiding the spread eagle, but 5 still stand. Box, a 79 half for Rob Berkiel. Rob bowling out of the Colonial Bowling Center in Worcester and Thunderbird Bowl, where he does most of his bowling. On the head pin again.
Helpful wood there in the cluster. 3, 5, 9, and the 10.
He's got it. 5 marks in the first 6 boxes for Rob Berkiel. Gary Carrington's working on a strike.
And that's not all he's thinking about.
No, he sure isn't. He's looking a couple of boxes ahead, don't you think?
Yeah.
That's on the head pin. He'll try to put the spare inside the strike. He will.
It was pretty amazing to think we've had 168 games in the regular season and only one triple strike. Considering the caliber of these bowlers, that's a pretty astounding thought.
$1,275 in the triple strike jackpot. Carrington on the head pin. 2 out of 3. But it's 3 marks in a row. $50 for Gary Carrington, and we'll watch it again. Good action off the pocket hit.
And he's making a run at Berkiel.
Put $50 in the bank account of Gary Carrington. Now Berkiel right on the head pin. Here comes the wood. Watch out. Not strong enough. You can see Berkiel directing the wood, choreographing it. Now it rolls away, unfortunately, for Rob, but it has a chance to roll back in, and it does.
I think he's got a good shot at it here.
He's got to play that wood on the right side and slide it over.
Because he's going to get some help from the piece of wood sticking out of the gutter against the 7.
Now the wood settles down. The crowd quiets. Berkiel still waiting for that wood to stop. Here's the shot. Six marks and 7 boxes for Rob Berkiel. Watch it again. He played the dead wood perfectly. And as Mike Moran mentioned, that wood that was in the gutter propped against the 7-pin certainly didn't hurt. Berkiel on the head pin again.
Well, these guys are fired up to the level you'd expect for the biggest match of the year, for the most money. $2,100 at stake in today's competition.
That's another $50 for Rob Berkiel. $120 in bonus money in this first string alone.
He's really only had one open frame. 7 marks and 8 shots, and Gary Carrington works on his second strike of the match.
Carrington has 3 marks in a row himself. Strike, spare, strike. Right on the head pin. Well, this is a $1,275 shot coming up for Gary Carrington.
For the only man that's done
itself.
That's exactly it. But it's about twice what he won last time. I'm not sure the exact amount.
It was in the $600 range.
Yeah.
I don't remember precisely what it was. $1,275. We'll let you watch it.
The hammer, the jumper.
Right through the middle.
He got a nice hand from the audience. He hit the head pin. Had he been a couple inches either way, he'd have had an excellent chance, but he punched right through for a 7 fill.
Ooh, he missed the spare. And a 10 box. So he lost the opportunity for additional bonus money.
Oh, you don't think it'll be the last time today that we see this? I suspect there'll be another double or 2 thrown by either of these guys.
Rob Berkiel.
That was robbery.
Solid pocket shot.
But again, a makeable spare, and you just keep hammering away at those spares. The strikes will take care of themselves.
Another $20 in bonus money for Rob Berkiel. $140 in bonus cash thus far in the first string.
And what a great match we have going.
$151 through 9, so he's at 158 at the moment. Tough spare with a sleeper pin back there. He's got it.
And he gets a nice hand from Gary Carrington. You don't see him on camera right now, but his opponent, Gary Carrington, appreciates a good shot.
161 plus a ball. $160 in bonus money. There it goes. 171 first string for Rob Berkiel, and $180 in bonus money. Watch it again. It took a while, but it went. Here's Carrington trying to break up the split.
Well, Rob Berkiel could not have picked a more opportune time to fire a 171 game. And how much money did you say, Dick?
I got 180.
Wow.
Carrington looks for the spare, missed the head pin. And that'll be an 8-box for Carrington. He's got 130. So he'll be in the, without a mark, he'll be in the 140 range and down 30 pins.
Wow. But he's as explosive as they come, so don't worry. He will make a match of it.
He's on the head pin. There's the strike.
That's 4 strikes already in this game alone in 10 boxes for Gary Carrington.
So he's 140 plus 2 balls. Off the head pin that time. They continue to go. Look at that 10 pin. It's angled. The 10 pin is pitched. 146. Looking at a possible 150 if he clears the deck right here. It'll be a 149 for Gary Carrington in the first string, and a 22-pin lead for Rob Berkiel. What a great first string we have had in our championship match in the Tournament of Champions as we continue from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire on WNDS TV 50. Gary Carrington is the first to bowl to start out our second string in this championship match of the Tournament of Champions. 171 for Rob Berkiel in the first string, 149 for Gary Carrington, and a 22-pin lead for Berkiel. Very explosive bowling by both bowlers in that first match.
And they seem to feed off each other, don't they? Both guys have risen to the occasion. I know it's a cliche, but boy, it's true today.
Carrington spread eagles. Carrington in the first string had 4 strikes and a spare and lost by 22 pins.
Stunning.
While I have a minute, let me give a tip of the hat to our WNDS TV 50 crew working at Leda Lanes today. Our director, Larry Taylor, filling in for Vic Cross. Working on audio is Kevin LaFond. The tape machine is manned by Dave McCarthy. Graphics handled by Ivo Carmely. On video, it's Paul Hunter, and our camera crew of Mike James, Bob Dold, and Gary Van Nortwick, all here at Leda Lanes in Nashua, making it all possible as Gary Carrington buries another strike. Feast or famine. 5th strike of the match for Gary Carrington.
In 12 boxes.
That $1,275 is in jeopardy, isn't it? Huh?
I think it's very much in his mind as well. He'd like to walk out of here with a good $3 grand today.
That'd be about right. And so would Berkiel. Berkiel on the head pin.
Berkiel is so focused, he almost looks possessed. He is so intense. And each week he's gotten a little bit more so as we've gotten closer to this match.
Missed the head pin.
Threw that one away too far to the left. 3-pin, 2-pin stands.
$10 for Berkiel to start out. Now he comes up against the Gary Carrington strike. Berkiel down to Hawk Hallis. By a score of 358 to 345. And then he advanced with a 381 to 348 win over Mike Morgan. Watch it, watch out. The big smile on Rob's face. And the 10 box. Wasn't it Berkiel who made a spare with the ball coming back off the back wall and rolling and hunting down the last pin?
I believe it was the 1 pin, the head pin. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Carrington working on a strike. Missed the head pin, but here they go.
That's a big thank you shot. Not too well thrown ball, but he's got the 4-7 in the corner.
With some very helpful wood. The spare goes inside the strike, and a chance for some bonus money here for Gary Carrington as he narrows the gap in the match.
He won $70 in his first match. Shot for 50 right here.
In the head pin. Breaks up the split. Have to keep a camera on Gary's family sitting in the front row as they put the body English on their shots when he. Here's a spare for Gary Carrington. $50 in bonus money for Gary Carrington in this second string. And high fives from his kids and wife.
And Rob Berkiel.
And Rob Berkiel in the front row.
Been watching them. They've been a lot of conversation. They're adversarial foes, and still they're enjoying each other's good competition.
Berkiel misses the head pin. Again, missing the head pin, punching out 2 on the left side. And a 9 box for Berkiel.
There you see it, a 171 for Rob Berkiel. Game number 1. Gary Carrington coming up short by 22 pins at 149. But he's making it now back with 3 marks in a row.
Again, Berkiel bouncing it and missing the head pin.
Just rushing the line a little bit, which is enough to throw your timing off.
Well, if Rob throws an open frame here, he's got a very tough shot to make a spare. This match will be virtually even. Well, it looked like he deserved better. And a 9 box. 38 through 4. So Berkiel markless thus far in the second string. When we come back, Gary Carrington will add to the lead in the match as we continue with our championship match in the Tournament of Champions on WNDS TV 50. Gary Carrington trails by 3, but he has a ball. So whatever he gets on this ball, anything over 3, gives Gary Carrington the lead in the match. He trailed by 22 pins after the first string, but in 4 boxes, he's eaten that up. So here's Gary Carrington working on 3 marks in a row. Right on the head pin. Watch out, here they come, here they come. Gary has the lead and a chance for another spare.
He has given the crowd its money's worth today with his, as you say, Dick, choreography.
Get him on the split screen so we can watch Gary with his body English and watch his family behind him. Gary's on the head pin. He puts on a show, doesn't he?
Almost looks like an evangelist out there.
He's preaching to the pins.
Say hallelujah.
Yeah, tough shot here on the head pin. He's got a shot.
Beauty.
5 marks in a row for Gary Carrington, and the high fives again from his family as he comes back to take his seat. Watch it again as he makes the spare using the deadwood that was there. So 5 marks in a row for Gary Carrington. Now Berkiel tries to answer.
Deserved much better than that. A good pocket hit. The 5 and the 10 are still there.
Look at the contrast. Berkiel, a mark in 9 boxes, 9 out of 10 in the first string. In the second string through 5, struggling, looking for his first mark. And won't have it here. And he'll take a 9. A 47.5 for Rob Berkiel. In the first string, he had a 79.5.
And Carrington is on 5 marks in a row.
Oh, he missed the head pin again, so he's lost the mark. Punching 2 through on the right side, so 5 still standing. And a 6 box for Rob Berkiel. Now Gary Carrington, who's been on fire with 5 marks in a row. His only open frame in the second string, the first box. He won $70 in bonus money in the first string. He already has $90 in the second string. Berkiel had $180 in bonus money in the first string. Gary Carrington working on 5 marks in a row. Right in the pocket again.
Getting some great fills. 10, 9, 8, 5, and 9 on his 5 marks in a row, and this should be number 6.
There it is.
He's doing to Berkiel what Berkiel did to him in the first match.
Just about.
Throw mark after mark against him.
But Carrington responded to some of Berkiel's firepower in the first string with some strikes of his own. Missing the head pin. Still getting good action off the board. And a 6-pin fill. Tough shot. Lots of wood. There it is.
Look at him.
Watch him high-five his family as he comes back. Here they come. Here's one son, second son, wife.
How much fun is it when you're bowling this well, Dick, huh?
Boy, oh boy, he is on fire.
You're going to run out of paper here to calculate all the bonus
7
money.
marks in a row. Here's Berkiel, and when things go bad, they go bad. Berkiel, who was in such a jovial mood in the first string when he had a 171, has seen things go the other way.
Boy, And it's tough to work your way out of that kind of a rut. This will be his 7th frame now without a mark this game.
And it'll be a 7 box.
Wow. 60 in the 7th. He's going to need marks even to hit 100. Carrington's going to be 160 at least.
On the head pin that time. And a legitimate spare opportunity here for Rob Berkiel.
Needs to compose himself here, because the match is far from over.
Beauty. That's a spare for Rob Berkiel.
Bowing to the pins in mock thankfulness. Still maintains a smile despite the fact he's getting clobbered here this game.
The roles have been reversed.
Oh.
Carrington with 125 plus a ball through 8. He's on a run of 7 marks in a row. On the head pin, punched it through, and you got to watch Gary. He's something.
That's it. Get rid of that sweat. The 2, 3, 4, and the 6 with some wood behind the 6.
Watch out. Nope. Gary went over a couple of alleys trying to help it down. And he'll take a 10 box. 141 for Gary Carrington with a box to go. Berkiel had a 171 in the first string.
There's a chance for Berkiel to pull back, you know, get a couple marks back. For the first time in 7 frames.
Carrington missed the head pin that time. The 4 horsemen on the right plus the 7 pin. And the wood rolling down closer to the 7 pin, which Gary likes to see. He's encouraging it to get closer to the 7. That makes it a whole lot more makeable, especially with the wood touching the 7 pin, as I believe it is. He missed the head pin now. That'll take them both in a 10 box and a 151 second string for Gary Carrington.
And an even 300 through 2 strings.
Well, Rob Berkiel has a spare in the 8th frame to fill, and he needs at least another mark to stay within shouting distance. But then again, we remember Hawkalis. Gary put 6 in the spare. Rob put 6 in the spare, rather. On the head pin, but nothing to show for it. He's going to need a mark to break 100. '83 through 9, and this is coming off a 171 first string.
What did he have at the half last time?
79.
Took
right
him
now
8 frames.
83 through 8 through 9.
He's missing the head pin now, giving him some fairly unmakeable spares.
The 10 pin still stands. A game in the low 90s for Rob Berkiel. 92 for Rob Berkiel, and a 37 pin lead for Gary Carrington as we head into the final string of the championship match of the Tournament of Champions on Candlepin Stars and Strikes from WNDS TV 50. One string remaining in our Tournament of Champions, and of course between now and the start of the next season, we'd love to hear from you. Send a card or a letter to Candlepin Stars and Strikes, WNDS TV 50, Television Place, Derry, New Hampshire 03038. And we look forward to joining you again next season with another season of great bowling on Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV 50. Rob Berkiel will be the first to bowl in the third and final string of this championship match in our Tournament of Champions, with Gary Carrington leading by 37 pins going in. Well, Berkiel right on the head pin. Well, 37 pins to start the third string, and we don't have to go back very far to remember Hawk Hallis in his match with Joe Ashline, trailing by 51 pins going into the third string, trailing by 66 pins, 2 boxes into the third string, and then going on a tear and coming from behind to win the match by 2 pins. So it can be done. Not insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination.
Berkiel needs to keep doing what he just did against Carrington.
Missed the head pin.
That was his curse the last game. One of a couple.
He's just lost it a little bit because he's been off the head pin, which is not something that we've seen him do. And that time he missed the head pin again.
You got to wonder, he was so intense and so fired up that first game, 171. It's tough to maintain that kind of intensity.
24 through the first 2 for Berkiel, and now Gary Carrington.
The man whose nickname is Babe, Plastown, New Hampshire.
The lady you see right in the background, now Gary standing in front, is his wife, and just to the right of her, her left, are his 2 sons,
Matt and Mike. His wife is Kathleen.
Carrington leaves himself a spare opportunity. Ooh, he leaves the 8 pin. That draws a murmur from the crowd. 10 box for Gary Carrington.
.300 through 2 games for Carrington. Just about on his average for his first time here back in November.
That's right on the head pin. He knows when he's thrown a good one. He really reacts to it.
You can read the body language and tell exactly how he feels.
Spare for Carrington in the second box, as he continues to apply the pressure to Rob Berkiel. Gary was the top seed in our Tournament of Champions, needing to win just 1 match to win the top prize of $1,500. Rob Berkiel was the 3rd seed. Berkiel right on the nose. Didn't get a break, though.
Saw that happen.
As Rob crossed himself walking away after the shot.
Well, this can be made, but it's, again, a very precise cut shot.
Missed it.
I'm going to give the address here in a second for those who might like to consider joining the Professional Bowlers Tour. Nice.
That was the shot.
If you are a league bowler and you're pretty competitive, you're a man with an average of 112 or higher and a woman with an average of 102 or better, you can join the WCBC. There are 6 tournaments held during the year. And the address, if you want to contact Tony Zernicke at WCBC Incorporated, Box 545, Webster, Mass. 01570. Again, that's WCBC, Box 545 in Webster, Mass. 01570.
Berkiel for the spare. Well done that time for Rob Berkiel, picking up the split with the help of some wood. But still, it had to be done. Now Gary Carrington working on a spare. Carrington won $70 in bonus money in the first string, and $130 in the second string. And this time he throws it right through the middle. So Gary has $200 in bonus money. Berkiel won $180, all in the first string. Gary waiting for the wood to settle. I don't know, do you try to play the wood and bounce it off of there and get something to go across?
I think you got to go for the 3.
An 8 box for Gary Carrington. Couldn't stay out of the split. He's up against the Berkiel mark in the 4th frame. Rob hoping to put a dent into that 37-pin lead. And he will. So when we come back from the break, Rob Berkiel will be filling a spare and trying to run a few marks together to get back into the match with Gary Carrington in the lead after that 10 box as Candlepin Stars and Strikes continues with our Tournament of Champions championship match on WNDS TV 50. Rob Berkiel ready to bowl in the 5th frame of the 3rd string. He's working on a mark. He came into the string trailing by 37 pins. And he's trying to eat into that lead. Berkiel with a half Worcester. He's been just off the head pin.
And generally to the left.
That time a little overcompensation to the right. And a 6 box. A 52 half for Rob Berkiel. That's in the pocket, and that's a strike. Berkiel with the strike, and really, we talked about Hawk needing to run the table several weeks ago when he had to come from behind in the 3rd frame. Rob Berkiel just about needs to run the table the rest of the way.
Well, that's a good way to start the run with a strike.
Gary Carrington off the head pin. Way off the head pin, and a piece of wood comes way out. Now, will it make a U-turn and start to head back? It will. Will it pick up some momentum and take some pins with it? It will not, but it sets up nicely to Gary Carrington's advantage. There's the shot. Almost made the spare. It's a 9 box for Gary Carrington. He's added 1 pin to his lead at the halfway point of the 3rd string, but now Rob Berkiel has a strike.
Plenty of time for Berkiel to pull it closer.
Carrington again missing the head pin, but getting a pretty good drop of 5.
The 4 horsemen on the right side and the 9 pin tucked away behind the 3.
It's incredible the ebbs and flows. Gary Carrington now with 1 mark through 5 boxes. Missing again there.
Looked pretty good.
So he'll have 1 mark through 6 boxes. And that'll be a 10 box. 63 through 6 for Gary Carrington, and Rob Berkiel needs to put some marks together.
Well, a double strike would cut the margin in half. And set us up for a tremendous finish.
And not only that, it would give Rob Berkiel a shot at $1,275.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't lose sight of that. Here it comes.
Stand by, folks.
This is the 2nd time in this match we will have a bowler bowling for $1,275. Gary Carrington had 2 strikes back-to-back, back in the first string. And now Berkiel in the 3rd string, trying to get back in the match and trying to win the triple strike jackpot. Here we go.
Sit down, Rob.
Missed the head pin.
Don't want to lose this spare. Be within a mark of Carrington with a spare here.
Missed it. .106 through 8 for Rob Berkiel. If Gary Carrington doesn't mark in either of these 2 boxes, it'll be about a 15-pin
advantage
with 2 frames to go. And he doesn't leave himself much right there. Although the wood is set up, this is, while difficult, not as difficult as it may look. There it is. The wood in the middle of the pack there really helped him out.
Yeah, it plowed about 4 pins in the back there, and then the ball took care of everything on the left side.
Gary can ice it with a mark here.
Well, there's a surprise. And a little more hope for Rob Berkiel as he'll step to the line for his last 2 boxes.
It is a 16-pin, check it, a 21-pin lead in the match for Gary Carrington as Berkiel has taken 16 pins back that he was down after 2. He needs to double mark for sure.
Mandatory. Missing that 8th frame spare is what really put the pressure on him here at the end.
Well, right in the pocket.
Very lucky that one fell. The 9-pin went down. It's a tough spare with the 9 up there.
And he missed it. And that would just about do it.
I believe so.
And he threw that one away. 114. Gary Carrington, while mathematically, well, he needs a mark. He needs a mark in this box to force Gary Carrington to knock over a couple of pins, is basically what it amounts to. If he doesn't mark in this frame, the match is over. The match is over. Gary Carrington has won the Tournament of Champions. .122. 3rd string for Rob Berkiel. Gary Carrington has won the match. All that remains to be seen now is if Gary Carrington can put a couple of strikes together. We'll watch the 9th box, see what he does before we go to the break. Well, almost. The 151 in the middle string to Berkiel's 92 really did rob Berkiel in. So it'll be Gary Carrington, our winner. We'll come back with the check presentations and meet our bowler. If anything happens in the 10th frame, we'll have it on tape for you to see when we come back. Toledo Lanes in Nashua as the Tournament of Champions has ended on WNDS TV 50. Gary Carrington finished with 3 marks in a row, including a strike on his very last ball to win the last ring, 128 to 122. To win the match, 428 to 385 over Rob Berkiel, and we hand Rob a check for $600. We have $180 more in bonus money, and after that 171 first string, what happened?
That wasn't me. I had a twin brother. He came in and I tried throwing the ball a little harder, put a little bit more on it to get the momentum to stay with Gary. And then sometimes this way the game is, it just doesn't work like that. You got to stay the same or forget it.
Well, we've seen big leads come, big leads go, and that's the name of the game. Rob, congratulations to you. Thanks very much. We'll see you again next year.
See you, Rob.
Rob Berkiel, our runner-up. Now Gary Carrington will toss a ball for the bonus ball contest. Yep. And it's a 6, so Mike Morin will reach into the bin.
Dig way down here.
Try to find one with a 6 on it. Let's see if he can. Here we go. We have, no, it's another 7. It's a 7 again. It's unbelievable. Fred DeMond of Stoughton, Massachusetts, picked 7. Unfortunately, it was a 6. Fred, you win a set of mugs from N&R Trophies in Winchendon, Massachusetts. And we have 10 strings of bowling to Medina Kilhart of Orange, Massachusetts, courtesy of Leda Lanes right here in Nashua, New Hampshire. And we bring Gary Carrington in. And for Gary, we have a check for $1,500 for winning the tournament championship. We also have another $250 in bonus money. And I see your family. They're all ready for you to hand over the check, but they'll have to wait a couple of minutes. The advantage of being the top seed and watch everybody beat up everybody to get to you.
Yeah, number 1 seed is definitely an advantage. I wanted to come out fast. Rob come out a little faster than me, but 171 right out of the gate. It's hard to keep up that kind of pace. For 149, what I hit, it's more that you can't keep up that pace. He made me fight all the way there. Even in the last game, I was coming down. I was a little nervous here, So.
But it's a great position to be in, and a great tournament for you. It's been a long time since we saw you. The first ladder series, you won that. You hit the triple strike jackpot way back when in November. Had to wait for the Tournament of Champions, and now the big payday here at the end of the year. So it's been a good season.
Yeah, it's been good. The wait's been long, but I like this place.